Kairate. Noon. Let's see. Screen share. Come on. Ara humas horate. Do y'all see my screen?
Nine.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, nine.
Okay. Sometimes a little loud. That's okay. Okay. So, Hellenistic. Umonon, not only. Umonon, kaire o Malaika, rakai, but also aspasdomai Malaikan. Wait, oh, Joel, can you put yourself on mute? Is that possible? Can you hear me, Joel? If you can find the mute. I'm very tolerant of New York public transportation. I don't mind that you're on it. It's fine. Life happens, but it's very loud. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So we can say aspasdomai molaikan. Now, the literal meaning of that is I greet or I am greeting Malaika. So Malaika is direct object form. Now that sounds stupid in English. We don't say that. That's not an idiom. So the best translation of this is not I greet Malaika. It's just hi Malaika. Because in Greek it's not weird. It's not weird at all. It's a perfectly normal way to say hello to someone. Aspasdomai Malaikan. SD, to, the same, equal sign, the same, to, kai, kaire o Malaika. O kaire o Yoel. Kaire o Yoel. Tutesti. Aspasdomai Yoel. Aspasdomai Yoel. Kaire o Teo. Huh? Nai, Kalista. Aspasdomai Kirkon. I greet Kirkos. Kirkos, nominative. Kirkon, accusative. The new is like M in Latin. You know, Kirkulus, Kirkulum. Petrus, Petrum. Kirkos, Kirkon. Malaika, Malaikan. O kaire o Theodore. Tutesti, that is. Aspasdomai Theodoron. Aspasdomai Theodoron. Oh, Justukos. Ualerianos apesti. He is absent. Ualerianos, vocative. Kaire o ualeriane, accusative. Aspasdomai ualerianon. Okay. Petros, nominative. Petros. Petre, vocative. Kaire o Petre. Aspasdomai Petron. Aspasdomai Petron. Or more generically, aspasdomai se. See, te saluto, Roma isti. Aspazdomai se. Just kaire. Aspazdomai humas. I greet y'all. Aspazdomai humas. Kairete. Whoop. Bark, bark, bark. Karosisting. That reminds me. Anglisti Lego. I will say this in English. I noticed when I watched the video, there's a few words that I said without establishing meaning. It's very hard. It's a common mistake. People like us. Little tiny necessary words. I couldn't help myself, I guess. At one point or a couple of times I said mala. I think Tad sat down really slowly, so I said mala bradeos. Mala is very. It's like walde. Very. I'll write this down later. Mala is very. I also used Allah, two lambdas, which is but. On the contrary, but. I think once. So this is not that important, but once I said kaita loipa. Kaita loipa. That's literally and the rest. It's et cetera, etc., etc., etc. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Kaita loipa. Not necessary. I think I also said Esos, which means perhaps. Esos, perhaps. I'll write that down on the doc later. I at one point said Kairos Estin when the timer went off. Kairos Estin. That means it is the time. Kairos is not Kronos. Some of you might think, oh, isn't Kronos the word for time? Kronos is time with a capital T. Kairos is the critical moment, in some context, the critical moment, the crucial juncture, or the appointed time, or the right time. So if you want to say idiomatically, all right, guys, it's time to go home, you don't say it's Kronos. That would sound weird to a native speaker. You say it's Kairos. It's the critical time, the appointed time. That's all for now. Okay. Kalos. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Commands. All right. Let's review the old ones. We'll start simple. Okay. O teore eparonse auton antibolo. The fox to do it. Okay. O alopex. O fox. O alopex. Eparonse auton. Katison antibolo. O Malaika. Eparonse altan antibolo. Katison antipolo. Oh, pantes. Everybody, pantes. Eparte humas autus antipolo. Katisate antipolo. Okay. Eparate humas autus bradeos. Katisate tacheos. Eparate humas autus geloios. Katisate spudaios. Spudaios. Kalos. O Petre. Bodies de antipolo. Pantes. Humes. Pantes. Pantes. Everybody. Pantes. Bodies de te. Kalos. Pausate. O Joel, lege Japonisti. Japonisti.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Lega.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Kalos. Pantes. Legate. Gallisti. Oh, bonjour.
Bonsoir.
Bonjour.
Kalos. O. Teodore. Stenazde. Antipolo. Stenazde. Oh, Ukakua. You're on mute.
Oi Moitalinos.
Oi, moi, is oi vei. Germano hebraisti. In Yiddish. Oi vei. Oi moi. Kalos. Pantes. Stenaz dete bradeos. Kalos. Okay. New ones. Oh, Malaika. Plege. Who didn't wipe their feet before they came in to the living room? Plege. Oh, Yoel. Plege. Antibolo. Kalos. Theodore. Plege. Antibolo. Kalos. O Petre. Plege. Antibolo. Kalos. Oh. Ego. Oiko. I live in the Arisdonai. Hohalios. Plege. Plege. Hohalios, the sun. Plege. O Pontus. Plegete. Kalos. Oh, Yoel. Lege. Oh, Yoel.
Soffofono non intelligo.
Huh?
With error.
T?
There was an error.
Hey, Marte.
Okay. Hemartenma. Okay. Hemartenma. An error. Kalos. Okay. O Malaika. Katatribe. O Yoel. Katatribe. O Theodore. Katatribe. Petre. Katatribe. Anibolo. Kalos. Pantes. Katatribete. Perfect illustration of this. Stone-washed jeans from 1988, 89, 1990, 1991, 1992. Stone-washed jeans. Worn out on purpose. Let's not talk about that. Katatribe. Okay. Ooh. Easter egg. Tree ball, the root of the tree ball, wear out, is cognate with terro, terre, trivi, tritum, Latin, where we get trite. That's a trite saying. That's a worn out saying. This has to do with rubbing and wearing away, wearing off. Kalos. Okay. O Malaika, Hes Yukazde. Nej, Hes Yukazde. O Teorre, Hes Yukazde. O Petre, Hes Yukazde. Nej. O Joel, Hes Yukazde. Kalos. Bantes, Hes Yukazde. Kalos. So, eparon, see, pick up, right? Aron, Aron. Ego, airo, tuto. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna skip this one for this week. I didn't tell you guys to have pencils, pens, etc. ready, so forget it. Okay. Calmne. Oh, Malaika, Calmne. Oh, Yoel, Calmne. Oh, Petra, Calmne, Antibolo. Oh, Teorre, Calmne. Calmne. O Pantas, has you chazdete? Has you chazdete? Katatribete? Plegete? Katatribete? Has you chazdete? Kamnete? There's not one gesture for this. There can be plenty. Oh, Yoel. Pone. See. Esos. This is very classist. It's either shovels or on Zoom. Globalists. Globalists, college educated intellectuals. Let's do both just to be equitable. We'll go back and forth. Digging and typing. Pone. Pone. O Malaika. Pone antibolo. Very blue collar. Kalas. Kalas. O Teorre. Pone. Kalas. Don't get on that nice jacket. Kalas. O Petra. Pone antibolo. Oh, nobody wants to type. This is great. You guys are you're so blue collar. Pantes. Ponyta. Ponyta Pantes. Ponyta. Kalos. Hes you kazdete? Plegete. Katatribete. Kalos. Ponyta. Ponyta. Kalos. Aha. Kaire. Kai samine hello. Kai samine, literally, be glad, rejoice. Kaire literally is gaude. Romaisti, gaude. Pantes, kairete. Kairete. Woohoo! Kairete. Papai! Kalos, kalos. O Teorre, kaire antibolo. Petre, kaire antibolo. Petre, hes yukazde. me hesiukas de pone. Pone. Kalos. O Petre. Katatribe. Kalos. O Joel. Plege. Kalos. Pantes. Hesiukas de te. Plegete. Katatribete. Kairete. Yippee. Kalos. O Malaika. Grappe. Grappe to alpa. Dekakis. 10 times. Dekakis. Grappe to alpa. I choose to believe you that those are spelled correctly. Kalos. O Joel. Grappe to alpa. Dekakis. Kalos. Pantes. Grappete. Hellenisti. Grappete. Ooh, such amazing handwriting. Grappete Romaisti. Quos tandem abutere Catalina patientia nostra. Grappete Germanisti. Achtung! Grappete Gallisti. Bonjour. I'm doing it phonetically. It's not my fault. Okay. Kalos. Grappete Hispanisti. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Grappete Anglisti. I want more money. Anglisti. Kalos. Okay. Kairos. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna skip some of these because we're low on time. Let's see if I can squeeze in a few. Oh, Joel. Eparon selton antibolo Anglisti Legon.
Hello. I'm standing up and speaking English.
Kalos. Anglisti Legon. O Teorere. Eparon selton antibolo Bradeos kai Anglisti Legon.
Hello.
Kalos. O Petre. Eparon selton antibolo Takeos kai Geloios Anglisti Legon.
Quickly and silly, I think.
No, Kalos. Oh, Malaika. Our token female participant. Just so I can get my funding. That's all it is. Oh, Malaika. Eparon selten antibolo Hellenisti Legusa. Oh, Homeros. Kalos. Oh, Malaika. Eparon selten antibolo Takeos kai Hellenisti Legusa. Kalos. Oh, Malaika. Eparon selten antibolo Spudaios kai Hispanisti Legusa.
¿Cómo estás, Magister?
Como estás? Kalos. Oh, Pantes. Oh, everybody. Eparate humas autus antibolo Romaisti legontes.
Salute, amiki.
Kalos. O Petre. Katis. O Petre. Eparon selton. Katison antibolo galoios stenasdon. Kalos. O Joel kai Malaika kai Theodore aparta humas autus. Katisate antibolo spudaios stenasdontes. Oi vei. Nein. Kalos. O Joel. Bodies de. O Joel. Katatribon. Kalos. O Malaika. Bodies de katatribusa. Kalos. O Pantes. Bodies dete katatribontes. Kalos. O Malaika. Lege. O Malaika. Bodies dusa.
Hello, how are you?
Kalos. O Theodore. Lege. O Theodore. Bodies don.
Slowly.
Kalos. O Petre. Lege. Bodies don.
Talking while walking.
Kalos. Pantes. Legete takeos kai geloios badisdontes. Kalos. O Joel. Stenas de O Joel plegon. Oi vei. Kalos. Malaika. Stenas de O Malaika plegusa.
Muy bien.
Plegusa. I don't see flames. Plegusa.
Muy bien.
Kalos. Okay. That'll do. Alright. Kalos. I went over 5 minutes. That's okay. So that means I need to set noon. We're going to practice a little bit of how to say, where do we live? It's not going to be enough repetitions, just like with those commands. It's not going to be enough. You know, you have to watch the video again. Like I said last week, trying to straddle that. So again, nobody needs to remember the whole conjugation of the verb I live. It's okay. I'm just putting it here. And like with Latin, the personal pronouns are in parentheses because they're emphatic. They're not necessary, but they're fine. Oiko, oikes, oike, oikumen, oikete, oikusi. I live, you live. He, she, it lives. We live, y'all live, they live. So, let's see. I'll start. Let's see. Pu oiko. Where do I live? Pu oiko. Ego. Oiko. En te politeiai kalumene Arizona. Or ego oiko inte politei calumene Arizonai. Arizona. Arizonai. Aha. Kai, also, Kai oiko, more broadly, inte Americae. Americae. We gotta be polite here to our friends from Central and South America. I learned this the hard way. We U.S. citizens have a bad habit of referring to ourselves as America when America is an entire continent that includes Canada, Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Honduras, etc. Sometimes they find it rude when we do that. That's why my gloss says in North or Central or South America. Inte Americae oiko. This is my gesture for oiko. If I just did this, you think the verb meant sleep. And if I just did this, you think it was a noun for house. So oiko is this. This is the house where I sleep. Oiko. Ego oiko inte Americae. Kai. Oh, sorry, this is a mouthful. Ego oiko en tais hanomenais politeis tas prosboran Americas. Ugh. In the United States of North America. In civitatibus federatis Americae. Latine. In the confederated commonwealths of towards the north America. So, ego oiko in tais hanomenais politeis tas prosboran Americas. Yikes. So tempted to say ego oiko in te Americae. In te Americae. Ego oiko in te politei calumene Arizona. Ego oiko in te polis, city, in te pole calumene Phoenix. Phoenicopoli. Phoenix. Okay, Yoel. Pu, where? Pu oikes su.
Oiko, entais, menais, politeis, tes prosperan Americaes, kai, oiko enten politea calumene neoeboraco, kai, oiko ente pole calumene neoeboraco.
Kalas. Tutesti to neon eboracon, New York, esti kai politeia, Commonwealth, state, kai polis. Neon eboracon. Kalas. Ego men. What's men? Tell me in English.
On the one hand.
On the one hand. Ego men oiko en te politei calumene Arizdonai. Yoel de oikei in te politei neoi eborakoi, kai in te pole, city, in te pole neoi eborakoi, kalos. O Malaika, pu oikes su, pu oikes su.
Oiko en te politea kalumene Urgenia?
Uergenia,
Urgenia.
Uergenia, perhaps Uergenea, I'm not sure. Uergenia. Uk esti gramma wa. Uk esti gramma wa. So Uergenia. I think it's like Parthenia or Parthenica, something for the virgin, whatever. But if we just transliterate it, it's Uergenia. Or inte Uergeniae. Kalos. Ego men oiko inte politeiai arsdonai. Sude o Malaika oikes inte Uergeniae. Ho de Joel oikei in toi neoi eborakoi. Aha, o theodore, pu oikes su.
Oiko in te politea Arizona.
Aha, kai su oikes in te arsdonai, in te politeiai kalumene arsdonai. Ego kai theodoros oikumen, first plural, oikumen in te politeiai kalumene arisdonai. Kalos. O Petra, pu oikes su.
Oiko in te politea Calumene, Minnesota.
Aha. Su in te politeiai kalumene Minnesotai. Oikes. Aha. Aha. In te pole Eli? Ugar?
Nai.
Aha. In Eli, Anglisti Eli, in te pole kalumene Eli, in te Minnesotai, Petros, oikei. Egomen, oiko, in te arsdonai. Kai ego kai Theodoros, oikumen. What's oikumen?
Relive.
We live. Oikumen in te politeiai kalumene arsdonai. Ho de Joel, oikei in toi neoi eborakoi. Su o Malaika, su de o Malaika, oikes in te Uergeniae. Su de o Petre, oikes in te Minnesotae. Oh, kalos. Wow, this thing goes by fast. Okay. This is even worse than last week when I said this is too much stuff for 1 hour. I wouldn't do this in real life, but it's the whole video thing. So, okay. Now I'm going to give it 10 minutes for debrief because we have a little bit of spillover and I want to make sure, especially at the beginning of the course, people get their random burning questions answered. So, actually, why don't we start? Malika, you had 2 questions last time. And like I said, I'm long-winded. I'm an int. I'm a Tolkien int. So you had a short question, and then I went on like a bore, and then you started to say, I believe, you asked everyone when you were starting to speak Latin, did you find yourself habitually having to see the words spelled out in your head, and did that eventually go away? And I was starting to say, oh, those are perfectly natural training wheels. It's perfect. Not if you were an absolute beginner. If you were learning Latin or Greek from scratch with this method, you wouldn't probably do that because you just don't know the letters well enough. But if you did years and years and years and years of grammar translation, yes. The first step is either you think in English or fairly quickly you move on from thinking English to just seeing everything spelled out because that's what you're used to. And I was trying to say before the thing cut off, that is like a little temporary training wheels and it will go away. The more you flood your brain with oral input and written input in a language where you don't have to think so damn much in English, that stuff will kind of slowly vanish. Does that alone answer your question, or did you have more detail?
No, that does answer my question. I mean, I haven't gotten to that point in Latin and speaking Latin, so I haven't experienced that at all with Latin or Greek, and I just wanted to get an idea if it
Since you
was
mentioned
ever.
that, I'll make a recommendation for Latin. One of the most common mistakes that people make, people like us who did Latin via GT for many, many years, is was like, oh, I want to activate my oral skills, my ears and my spoken skills. So I guess that means I'll listen to audio of Cicero orations or something like that. Okay, that's an extreme example. No, one of the things that sucks, in a sense, at least for our pride, is the left side of your brain that remembers all those great factoids that you learned from the University of Dallas and Dr. Maurer, like I did. The left side of your brain is one thing. The other side is where the acquisition happens. So you have to start with something like Familia Romana or Cambridge Latin, like just a basic thing that you can read left to right, top to bottom, with a movie unfolding in your head. Because it's so easy, you don't have to think in English. You have to start there and plug in the hours. And if you try to jump to intermediate or advanced thinking, well, I can understand it, I can analyze it, so therefore I can listen to it, it's not going to work as well. So you have to kind of like start at the baby level, and if you drown your brain with oral recorded messages in the target language that you can understand in real time, then the English brain will fall asleep and your whole spelling everything out in Latin will fall asleep. But it's not going to happen if it's in Catalina 1. It needs to be Familia Romana or something like that. YouTube channels. Is that good enough? Okay. Other questions. Random questions from anybody about anything.
Well, I will say, having absolutely no experience trying to watch through all these videos, this is obviously a lot of information all at once. How fast would you normally kind of go through this material in like a normal kind of classroom setting?
Oh, probably at least 2 to 1. I mean, like today, maybe even 3 to 1. It's a lot of stuff. I'm banking on someone in your position should watch this video twice before our next session. And I also knew I'm going to New York this coming weekend, so we're having a lap. We don't meet again for 2 weeks, so you have lots and lots of homework time, and that made it even easier for me to get away with it. But with the only once a week thing, yeah, I'm pushing it more than I would like to. Now, over time, I'm going to keep adding videos labeled, well, so like, this is lesson 3, so like anything that helps this, it's like a follow-up, it's like lesson 3B, 3C, 3D, so that eventually a person could just binge out on the playlist and have a good ratio, a good density ratio. But right now, while it's still fresh and I don't have all that, it is admittedly challenging. I grant you that.
So for me, I watch a video and, I probably retain like 10% of it. Is it better to go into the next video or can I go back and watch it like 5 or 6 times? Like how many times? Because I can only retain so much,
The latter.
It's supposed to, I know it just kind of naturally falls in.
Go back go back and rewatch the old ones until it doesn't feel like, until it feels so easy that it's boring. That's the honest answer.
Sure.
And I don't give any advice that I don't follow myself with like Spanish or Hebrew, the languages I'm not very good at. Just go to town on it until you can't stand it anymore, until it's boring. Yeah.
Sure.
Other questions? Oh, I have a correction while I'm thinking of it. It's not so much that I said anything wrong. It's just I spoke imprecisely. Malika asked last week whether parakalo, which she heard to mean please, was the same as antibolo. I said that parakalo wasn't attic. That's not what I meant. I could have said that better. The verb parakaleo is attic, for sure. But I meant to say that the usage of please is not attic. So parakalo in attic is like I summon you, I invite you. It's call you over. But it doesn't come to mean please until the Koine period. But I didn't mean to suggest that it's not an attic verb. It is. Let's see. Other loose ends. Oh, who remembers? Just while I read it, pop-up grammar stuff. What's the difference between me saying, say, bodies there versus bodyson? This is an advanced piece that no one has to know yet.
Present versus aorist in imperative.
Right.
And aorist is more idiomatic.
Aorist is simple. Well, in this particular case, there's nothing. I know he didn't mean this, but there's nothing unidiomatic about bodies there if you're using it right. But what he meant to say is most of the time, a simple aorist imperative is probably correct, but it depends.
This is the continuous versus completed
Right.
sort of, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bodies there, present stem, is be walking. Bodyson is walk. Stenas there, be groaning. Stenason, groan. And then I mentioned a couple of examples last time where some verbs it doesn't matter so much. Some verbs are kind of weird exceptions. Like sit down, katis de versus katison. If you look at the TLG, it's just I think there's 20 something katisons and maybe 7 katis de, so it's not that different. Lege, it doesn't matter as much, but most of the time it makes a difference. This is true for infinitives and imperatives. You'll see the infinitive business later. What other Easter eggs did I? Oh, did you guys notice the participles I was using in the imperatives tonight? I was pushing a bit. I was stretching. I would say, for example, oh Tad, bodies de stenazdon. Does anyone remember what that means literally?
Walk groaning.
Walk groaning. Walk while groaning. And then I said to Malaika something like bodies de stenazdusa. Feminine. Present active participle. Nobody needs to remember those now. But I'm just using them early. Well, there's just 3 reasons for me to do stuff like this. 1, for those of you who know a lot of Greek, but this is new Ray active Greek, you guys deserve to be fed. Maybe not necessarily stretched, but at least fed some steak and potatoes and kale. Because your digestive systems can handle it. 2, pure beginners. It's okay if you don't digest it wholly or remember how to say it. That's fine. But you're not going to start absorbing it any sooner than you start seeing it, right, and hearing it, right? It's not a moment sooner. So why the hell not? And 3, if I can be more native-like, more squeaky clean, and it's not incomprehensible, if it doesn't wreck the train here, I'm going to do it. Why not? So, for example, next time, this is going to sound hard, but don't worry. Next time, when I give a string of commands in Greek, I'm not actually going to say, imperative and imperative and imperative. Do X and do Y and do Z. I'm going to be more fancy pants, more native-like, and say, with aorist participles, having done X and having done Y, do Z. Because in really, really good Greek, if you give a string of commands, the most native-like way to say it is like that. Like all the previous commands are past participles until you get to the last one. Having aid and bead and seed and deed, E. Do E. So that's something I'm going to start doing probably next time. Feed the non-beginners. Total beginners, you're not going to absorb it any sooner than you start seeing it. And 3, if I can stretch things to native-like usage, I will. If I can't, if it's too confusing, then I won't. But, if I can, I will. Malaika.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. One is, in the videos, Lucios,
Luke Ranieri. Mm-hmm.
yes, he seemed to use the duel.
That's right, he does use the duel. Uh-huh.
I guess I always thought of that as just being for things that are naturally coming in pairs, like hands, or they say pairs of oxen or something like that. But do we use it just to be 2 of everything?
You can use it for 2 of everything. So the reason most textbooks don't teach the duel is because it was half died out by the Golden Age. Like by the time of Plato, half the time they just use the plural like Latin does, and half the time they might use the duel. Or at least by then they started only using the duel when it was, like you say, a very logically, naturally bound together pair. But I like the decision he made. I'm going to do it too, actually. Just start teaching it right away. Rouse, the direct method guy from 100 years ago, Rouse did this. He would just start teaching the duel right away. Why the hell not? Just start getting it. Again, that second principle I mentioned. The beginners aren't going to start absorbing this thing any sooner than they start seeing it, so you might as well. But yes, in Attic Greek, most of the time, like the first page of Sophocles' Antigone, the duel is really, really meaningful, and it's like a close pairing. But it doesn't have to be. It can just be for anything that's not 3. Anything that's not 1 and not 3. Okay. So it's both.
Okay. And then another question I had, there's terms that come up in the video, Arsenicon and Felucon. What are the origins of those 2 words?
Yeah, I need to go add to the descriptions of those. I'm gonna add Greek to English glossaries to those. Arsenicon is masculine. It's the neuter of masculine. Arsenicon. Teleucon. That's the feminine. Udeteron, neither. It's neuter. I'm sorry for the gendered voices. All right, sue me. I already microaggressed the French and the Germans last week. I realized when I watched the video, I was like, 999, bonjour. Nobody cares. They're white. They're European. Nobody cares. It's not Asia. It's not Africa. It's not. Whatever. I'm not gonna get canceled over the French and the Germans, or because I said Arsenicon and Teleucon.
Where do those 2 words come from? Are they related to a Greek noun?
Yes, Arren, Arrenos. Third declension is like Latin mas. It's male. That is to say, okay. I shouldn't say non-human, but trans. Well, it's just basic animal male, with or without a human being. And Teleucon is feminine, regardless of species. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're just adjectives that mean
and
those things.
In the Koine, 90% of our grammar jargon in Greek comes from Koine texts, like who is it? Like Demetrius or Longinus or Dionysius of Halicarnassus. They're all like first century Koine texts, and that's where we get all our grammar terms. And then Latin is just Latinized versions of those terms. So masculine, feminine, and neuter is Arsenicon, Teleucon, ουδέτερον. I was going to teach all those later anyway, but nobody has to remember them now. What else? What you got? Nothing? Alright. Let's see. Any other corrections? Is it? Oh, Easter egg. Plague, that whole blaze, that's in the text because of the sun. And if you're thinking, is it extant? Can you use it metaphorically to mean be angry? I found one example. One measly example. I think it might even be Koine text. If you look it up on LSJ, on the Great Scott, that's the Greek equivalent of the Oxford Latin Dictionary or the Lewis and Short. Plague is just literal, the sun is blazing. But like one guy somewhere used it to mean being pissed. So that's why we can look angry and blaze when we go plagata. Only reason I taught it is because it's in the first chapter. All right, there's probably something I forgot. That was a lot of information. That's a lot of stuff.
How do you say thank you?
How do you say thank you? Charin soy echo. Charin soy echo.
I didn't say it.
Oh, dekomai. All right, see y'all next time. Kairete pola.